Have you ever asked yourself, why do I feel everything so deeply? Why does one moment of rejection feel like a storm inside your chest? Why does silence from someone you love feel louder than any scream? Cancer, if you're watching this video right now, know this. It's not a coincidence. It's not random. When you clicked on this, it wasn't just curiosity. It was the universe guiding you here. Because something inside of you is ready to awaken. You are a Cancer, the nurturer, the protector, the one who always shows up for others, even when you feel like you're drowning. But today, this moment, is for you. So before we dive into the deepest truths about your sign, take a second, like this video, share it with a fellow Cancer, and subscribe to Stellar Fate. Because what's coming next may just change how you see yourself forever. Let's get real. Cancer. People often say you're too emotional, that you're too sensitive, that you overreact. But here's the truth they don't understand. You don't feel too much. You feel what others are afraid to. You were born under the moon, the most emotional, intuitive, mysterious force in the entire sky. And just like the moon, you go through phases. Some days, you're full of light. Other days, you're hiding in shadow. But no matter the phase, your presence always affects the tide. Here's what people don't realize about Cancers. You're not weak. You're not fragile. You're an emotional warrior. You feel so deeply, not because you're broken, but because your soul is strong enough to hold the emotions that others run from. You can walk into a room and immediately sense the energy. You know when someone's lying. You feel their sadness before they even say a word. That's not too sensitive. That's a spiritual superpower. But here's the problem. You give your heart too easily. You care too much. And you often forget to give to the one person who truly needs your love. Yourself. Cancer. How many times have you put someone else's happiness above your own? Said, "I'm fine," when you were actually falling apart? Tried to fix people who didn't even want to be fixed? You do it because you have a healer's heart. But a heart can only heal others if it's not bleeding itself. Let's talk about one of the biggest traps for Cancer. The caretaker complex. You think, if I love them enough, they'll change. If I give more, they'll stay. If I'm patient, they'll finally see my worth. But sweet Cancer, your worth is not measured by how much pain you can tolerate. You are not responsible for saving people who refuse to save themselves. Read that again, and let it sink in. This year, the stars are pushing you to break a pattern. A pattern of self-abandonment in the name of love. A pattern of shrinking yourself so others feel comfortable. A pattern of pouring from a cup that's been empty for far too long. So ask yourself now, when was the last time I put my own needs first? What would my life look like if I stopped saying yes to things that drain me? Am I truly living, or am I just surviving? Because Cancer, you weren't born to just survive. You were born to feel, to grow, to evolve, and yes, to love, but not at the cost of losing yourself. Let's explore your astrology for a moment. With the moon as your ruling planet, you're ruled by the tides of emotion. But when that moon is eclipsed, like it was during recent cycles, your sense of safety disappears. You might have felt more anxious. Sleepless nights, old wounds resurfacing, a strange craving to go home, even if you don't know where that is. That's your soul calling you back to center. To return to yourself. To come home, not to a place, but to your truth. Here's your mission for this week. Cancer. Stop apologizing for your sensitivity. Stop letting others weaponize your emotions. Start honoring your intuition. Start trusting that your softness is strength, not weakness. And most importantly, start loving yourself the way you love others. Because no matter how deep your love is, no matter how much you give, you can't heal someone who's committed to staying broken. We'll dive deeper into Cancer's love life. Why you love so intensely. What to look out for. And the karmic patterns you must break if you want to attract true soul-aligned love. It's going to be raw, real, and maybe even uncomfortable, but it will also be deeply healing. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with a fellow Cancer who needs to hear this. Because this journey we're on together, it's not just about astrology. It's about rediscovering your worth, your heart, and your destiny. See you in part 2. Dear Cancer. Why love hurts so deeply for Cancer, and how to stop bleeding for it. By Stellar Fate. Cancer, you don't fall in love. You dive into it, head first, heart wide open. soul completely unguarded. But that's exactly why love sometimes feels more like war than romance for you. And if you're listening to this right now, know this: the universe brought you here for a reason. There's a truth waiting to be revealed, not just about love, but about you. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why you hurt the most in love. Let's talk about why you hold on, even when they've already let go. Because you're not weak. You're loyal. You're made of memory, emotion, and soul. But sometimes, that loyalty becomes a cage. Here's a truth you've probably never said out loud. I love people who don't know how to love me back. Why? Because deep inside, you believe your love can fix them. Because you see the broken parts of them and say, if I just love harder, they'll finally feel safe. If I stay, even when they push me away, they'll finally choose me. But here's the truth, Cancer. Staying with someone who keeps breaking you does not make you strong. It makes you forget who you are. Let's break it down. Cancers are ruled by the fourth house of home, family, and emotional roots. That means you don't just crave connection. You crave emotional security. And when you don't get that, you start to question your worth. You think, maybe if I change, maybe I'm too much. Maybe I need to stop expecting so much. No, love, you're not too much. You're just giving too much to someone who was never meant to receive it. Let's go deeper. You attract emotionally unavailable people because you're trying to earn the love you didn't receive as a child. And that's not your fault. It's a subconscious pattern, one that the stars are now asking you to break. This is the year of emotional reclamation. The year of coming home, not to another person, but to yourself. You keep waiting for someone to choose you. But what if the only person you ever needed to choose you was you? Here are 3 toxic love patterns Cancers must release. 1. Overgiving. You give 110% hoping they'll give at least 50%. But healthy love isn't about effort ratios. It's about reciprocity. 2. Silent suffering. You don't speak up because you don't want to rock the boat. But silence is not peace. It's just pain in disguise. 3. Emotional martyrdom. You let them treat you like an option because you hope one day you'll become a priority. But waiting for someone to realize your worth is a slow form of self-abandonment. So what do you do now? You reclaim your power by doing these. Set boundaries and stick to them. Say no when it costs your peace. Stop explaining your emotions to people committed to misunderstanding them. Start choosing people who choose you back, not just when it's convenient for them, but every damn day. Cancer. You deserve a love that feels like home, not war. You deserve someone who calms your storms, not adds to them. And most of all, you deserve to feel safe, seen, cherished, not for how much you give, but for who you are. And let's be clear, your softness is not a flaw. It's your superpower. It's what makes you magical, rare, and unforgettable. If anything in this touched your heart, if you felt like I was talking directly to your soul, like this video, share it with a Cancer who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Stellar Fate, because the next part will take us even deeper. We'll talk about the shadow side of Cancer, the emotional manipulation you don't even realize you use, the way fear of abandonment makes you sabotage good love, and how to break free from cycles that keep you stuck in heartbreak. So stay with me. This journey? It's about to get even more powerful. Your emotional triggers are not love, they're warnings. By Stellar Fate. Cancer. You already know how deep you feel. You already know how loyal, how protective, how endlessly devoted you are. But what you may not know is this. Sometimes, the love you give turns into a trap. Not because you mean harm, but because your fear of losing someone becomes stronger than your respect for yourself. Let's get real. When you feel someone pulling away, do you chase harder? Do you cry quietly, hoping they'll notice? Do you pretend everything's okay, while your soul is silently begging for a reason to stay? If you answered yes, this part is for you. The shadow side of Cancer is subtle. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet manipulation wrapped in soft words and unspoken expectations. Yes, I said manipulation, but wait, it's not the evil kind. It's emotional survival. It's what happens when your inner child is terrified of being abandoned again. Let's break it down. You give, not just out of love, but because you're afraid they'll leave if you stop. You forgive too fast, because confrontation feels like a threat to your connection. You stay silent when you're hurt, because you're more afraid of being too sensitive than of being mistreated. You try to read minds, Because asking directly would mean risking rejection. These behaviors don't come from malice. They come from unhealed wounds. But here's the hard truth. Cancer. Your trauma is not your fault. But your healing is your responsibility. You don't have to earn love by bleeding for it. You don't have to guess your worth based on how someone else treats you. Let's flip the script. What if I told you that you're not too much? That your emotions aren't a burden? That the person who's meant for you will find comfort in your softness, not run from it? You've spent so long hiding the depth of your heart because others didn't know how to hold it. But that ends now. Here's what you need to do to reclaim your emotional power. Start expressing your needs, clearly, calmly, unapologetically. Let go of the belief that love must hurt to be real. Heal the inner child who keeps asking, "What's wrong with me?" Stop shrinking to be digestible. The right people won't choke on your truth. And most of all, choose peace over performance. You don't have to prove yourself to be loved. Cancer. You are not here to fix broken people. You are not here to sacrifice your spirit for temporary affection. You are here to feel. Yes, but also to transform. Let your intuition be your guide. Let your heart be your compass. But don't let fear drive your ship. We'll step into something powerful. Your rising confidence. Your rebirth in career, creativity, and purpose. And how when you stop abandoning yourself, the universe finally opens the door to the life you've been waiting for. But before that, if this message found you at the right moment, it's not random. The universe sent it, and it sent you here to stellar fate. So please, like this video if your soul felt seen. Share it with another Cancer who's on the edge of transformation. And subscribe, because the next chapter of your story is waiting. And it's breathtaking. Stop abandoning yourself. That's where your power begins. By stellar fate. Cancer, there's something about your soul that people don't fully understand. They see your softness, your caring nature, your emotional depth, but they often miss the titanic force hiding beneath your waves. Let me tell you something bold. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to be the background character in someone else's story. You are a main character in the cosmic drama of fate, and your name is written in starlight. So why are you still playing it safe? Cancer, here's the truth you've been avoiding. You've been abandoning your dreams out of fear of failure. You've been quieting your ideas because you think they're too emotional for the real world. You've been shrinking your power because the world told you that sensitive means weak. But let me tell you now, your sensitivity is your superpower. Your emotions are your compass. And your intuition? That's the voice of the universe whispering your purpose. When you start trusting yourself, you'll stop needing constant validation. When you honor your emotions, you'll stop apologizing for your existence. And when you finally choose yourself, the world around you will start choosing you. 2. Let's talk career, purpose, and passion. 3 areas where Cancer has unmatched potential. Once you stop betraying your inner calling, you were born to nurture, yes, but also to lead, to build, to inspire others to feel again in a world that's gone numb. You bring heart to business. You bring soul to structure. You bring depth to every conversation others only skim the surface of. Here's your action plan, Cancer. Step 1. Stop waiting for the right moment. The stars are waiting for you to move first. Step 2. Create something, a blog, a product, a project that reflects your emotional truth. Step 3. Set boundaries, even with people you love, so your energy isn't constantly drained. Step 4. Say yes to the opportunities that scare you a little, because that's where your growth lives. And now, something deeply spiritual. When you stop abandoning yourself, you become magnetic. Suddenly, clients appear. Suddenly, collaborations find you. Suddenly, your light is too bright for the shadows that once tried to dim you. This is your cosmic permission slip. Cancer, take up space. Share your vision. Claim your seat at the table. Because if the universe trusted you with this much feeling, it's because you're meant to lead with it. True love, and how to stop repeating the same painful mistakes. How to attract the right person, someone who understands you, loves you deeply, and won't walk away when you're hurting. But before we dive into that, if this part of the video touched something deep inside you, know this. You didn't find this video by accident. It's a message from the universe, sent directly to you, through stellar fate. Like this video if you saw yourself in these words. Share it with your fellow Cancers who need this gentle awakening. And don't forget to subscribe, because the most beautiful parts of your story are still waiting to unfold. But here's what the stars are trying to tell you. Love shouldn't feel like losing yourself. Love shouldn't mean constant emotional survival mode. Love shouldn't be a test of how much pain you can endure. You are not here to prove your worth by suffering. You are not here to chase people who can't see your soul. You are here to be chosen, not tolerated. Cancer, one of your greatest lessons in this lifetime is this. Stop loving people who make you feel like too much. Because to the right soul, your intensity will feel like home. So let's talk about how to break the cycle. Mistake number 1. Falling in love with potential. You see someone's light, even when they're living in darkness. But you can't save someone who's not ready to step into the light themselves. You're a lover, not a lifeguard. Mistake number 2. Confusing comfort with connection. Just because you've known someone for years doesn't mean they're still aligned with your soul. Mistake number 3. Thinking you can love someone enough to make them stay. No, love doesn't work that way. The right person stays because they want to, not because you try harder. So how do you attract real, lasting love? You stop begging for breadcrumbs and start setting standards. You stop hiding your emotional needs just to keep the peace. You stop romanticizing people who only show up in your life when it's convenient for them. And most importantly, you start loving yourself the way you've loved others, fully, faithfully, and without hesitation. You're not too sensitive. You're deeply tuned in. You're not too emotional. You feel what others are too afraid to face. Cancer, your heart is sacred. Stop giving it to people who don't know how to hold it gently. Like this video if you saw yourself in these words. Share it with your fellow Cancers who need this gentle awakening. And don't forget to subscribe, because the most beautiful parts of your story are still waiting to unfold. Doi de la fan teep theo bang tien an cho fan 5 noi dung video kung Cancer tren ken stellar fate. Theo fong cash tro choyan. Truyen cam va ko loi kiu goi like. Share, subscribe, true love, and how not to repeat old mistakes. Hey Cancer, welcome back to Stellar Fate. If you've ever felt like love hurts more than it should, this part is for you. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your soul deserves this journey. And the universe is guiding you here for a reason. Have you ever found yourself loving someone so deeply that you forgot to love yourself? Have you given everything to someone who didn't see your worth? It's painful, isn't it? But listen carefully, love should never cost you your peace or your identity. Here's a powerful truth. Real love doesn't hurt like this. Real love doesn't make you feel invisible or less than. Real love doesn't ask you to lose who you are. You deserve a love that uplifts you, supports you, and walks beside you, not one that drags you down. So, how do you stop repeating those painful patterns? Mistake number 1. Falling for potential instead of presence. You see what someone could be, but what about who they are right now? Don't fall for promises when the actions don't match. Mistake number 2. Settling for comfort instead of connection. Familiarity is not always love. Sometimes, it's just habit. Ask yourself, does this relationship feed your soul? Or just your fear of being alone? Mistake number 3. Believing love is a struggle. Love should feel natural, not like a constant battle. The right person stays because they want to, not because you're fighting to hold on. Here's how to attract the love you truly deserve. Set clear boundaries. Don't settle for less than respect and kindness. Express your emotions honestly. Vulnerability is your strength, not your weakness. Value yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Cancer, your heart is vast and tender. Stop giving it to those who can't hold it with care. The universe wants you to know, the right love will see your intensity as a gift, not a burden. If you're watching this, it's no accident. This is the universe sending you a message through Stellar Fate, a call to heal, grow, and love yourself first. Like if you're ready to love again, this time, the right way. Share with a Cancer friend who needs this reminder. Subscribe and stay tuned for more cosmic wisdom that will guide your heart.